There is one thing, and only one thing, that all human beings can agree is the greatest thing of all time: A Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven's 1984 horror classic about a horribly burnt pedophile who murders teenagers in their sleep. But how did this film come to be? Was there a true story upon which this film was based? The answer is yes. So tune in, because I'm about to explain it to you.
Philip and Michael talk movies.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michael, here in sunny Atlanta, Georgia. But that's not where this story takes place. This story takes place a long, long time ago in a place called the late 1970s and in a country known as Los Angeles, California. Thousands of Cambodian immigrants and refugees had recently relocated there, escaping the brutal Khmer Rouge regime, a communist political group that had overthrown the government in Cambodia and enacted government policies which led to one of the worst genocides in human history. Some reports put the death toll up to about a quarter of the entire population of Cambodia at that time. As you can imagine, a lot of these new Americans were dealing with unspeakable amounts of trauma from the horrors they had experienced. Now, one family in particular, living in Los Angeles, had a son, and the son was having a really tough go of it. Right? He was in new surroundings, a new country, new language, new culture. And he started having night terrors. Not nightmares, not bad dreams, night terrors. Waking up covered in sweat, screaming, thrashing, panicked. It was bad. It was really bad. And after a while, the family became deeply concerned, and they took him to see a doctor. Now, doctors then didn't really have a good grasp on post-traumatic stress, trauma, all that kind of stuff. In fact, some of them still don't, right? So he saw this as a problem of the kid can't sleep. So let's give him some sleep meds. Problem solved. So it seemed like everything was taken care of. The kid got the sleep medication, he's taking it, he's getting the full 8 hours. The parents can sleep easy knowing their kid's not going to wake up at 2 a.m. screaming bloody murder. Happily ever after? Seems to be, right? Wrong. About 8 days later, the parents are tucked in for bed. They're ready to drift off into a fitless sleep. And about midnight, the kid wakes up screaming bloody murder. The parents go rushing to his bedroom. The scream stops. They open the door, and their son is dead. Now, amidst all the panic and grief going on in that boy's bedroom in that apartment in Los Angeles on that night, the parents found something that astonished them. They found that he hadn't been taking his sleeping medication. He'd been pocketing them, putting them in the drawer. They also found a Mr. Coffee maker, and they found a bottle of diet pills, speed pills, very common in that era. And he had been staying up all night, chugging coffee, taking diet pills, and not getting any sleep. He couldn't do it. He could not return to that nocturnal nightmare world, whatever lay within. But the body can't last that long without sleep. So he made it about a week and a day before he crashed, went into a deep sleep, and never recovered. Even stranger, this is only one of dozens of cases of young Cambodian immigrants, men in their 20s and 30s, healthy as can be, dying mysteriously in their sleep. Doctors couldn't find any underlying medical condition that linked all of these cases. They just seemed to appear out of nowhere. The LA Times reported extensively on these strange deaths, and a young, struggling filmmaker named Wes Craven followed them obsessively. And he was able to create a common link for these nocturnal murders, a horribly burnt dream demon named Freddy Krueger. And with that, a star was born, and, pun intended, a new nightmare for the 80s and 90s in suburban America. And that's it for this mini episode of Philip and Michael Talk Movies starring me, Michael, and no Philip. If you want to hear both of us on our full-length movie podcast, link will be in today's description. Other than that, like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And I'll see you at the movies. Bye. Bye. Okay.